You think you're a smart traveler? You booked your flight, packed your sunscreen, and learned how to say thank you in 5 languages. But what if I told you? You could still end up in serious trouble, just for chewing gum, wearing high heels, or building a sandcastle. Yeah, welcome to the wild world of weird travel laws, where a single mistake could turn your dream vacation into an awkward visit to the local police station. In this video, we're exploring 20 crazy travel rules around the world. Strange, unexpected, and sometimes hilarious laws that you might break without even realizing it. Some of them make sense. They protect nature, heritage, or culture. Others, well, let's just say they'll make you rethink what you pack in your suitcase. So before your next trip abroad, make sure you don't end up as that tourist who went viral for the wrong reason. 20. The chewing gum ban, Singapore. Imagine landing in one of the cleanest cities on Earth, skyscrapers gleaming, streets spotless, and not a single gum stain on the sidewalk. That's because in Singapore, chewing gum is illegal. Well, almost. You can technically chew therapeutic gum, like nicotine gum, but importing, selling, or spitting gum, that'll cost you, literally. Fines can reach thousands of dollars. This law was introduced in 1992 after public spaces were being ruined by discarded gum. Subway doors wouldn't close properly, and cleaning costs skyrocketed. The government decided, enough is enough. So if you're traveling to Singapore, leave your gum at home. Customs officers have the right to confiscate it and fine you. And trust me, that's not how you want to start your trip. But hey, the upside? You'll experience one of the world's cleanest, most organized cities. No gum, no litter, no problem. 19. No high heels at ancient sites, Greece. You're walking up the ancient steps of the Acropolis, ready for the perfect photo, when a guard stops you. Why? Because your shoes, those elegant, sharp heels, are illegal. In Greece, wearing high heels at archaeological sites is banned. The reason? Preservation. Thin heels can chip, crack, or damage marble that survived for thousands of years. The rule might sound strange, but think about it. One tourist in heels doesn't matter. But millions every year? That's disaster for ancient stone. So, if you're heading to the Parthenon or Delphi, leave your stilettos at the hotel. Comfortable shoes, camera, and respect. That's the Greek way. And yes, you'll thank yourself later when you're climbing ruins under the hot sun. 18. Don't feed the pigeons, Venice, Italy. It looks cute, tossing breadcrumbs to pigeons in Piazza San Marco while taking selfies. But in Venice, that can get you fined up to 500 euros. Feeding pigeons is strictly forbidden here. Why? Because at one point there were tens of thousands of them swarming the square, destroying historic statues and leaving, well, souvenirs all over the place. Tourists loved feeding them, but the city had to spend huge amounts cleaning buildings and monuments. So in 2008, Venice said, basta. No more pigeon buffets. Today, the city guards its architecture fiercely. And honestly, it's better that way. You get to enjoy the beauty of St. Mark's Basilica without dodging bird droppings. So next time you're in Venice, keep your sandwich to yourself, or your wallet might feel lighter than your lunch. 17. Don't bring too many playing cards, Thailand. You're in Thailand, relaxing at a cafe, and you pull out a deck of cards. No problem, right? Not exactly. Thailand has something called the Playing Cards Act of 1943, which limits how many cards you can possess. Specifically, you can't carry more than 120 cards that haven't been registered with the government. It might sound absurd, but it's true. The law was originally introduced to prevent illegal gambling, a major issue in the mid-20th century. Even today, police occasionally enforce it during raids. So, if you're a poker fan traveling with multiple decks, maybe for a tournament or just for fun, think twice. You could accidentally violate Thai law without knowing it. And let's be real, nobody wants their travel story to end with, I got detained for playing Uno. 16. Don't run out of gas. Germany's Autobahn. Ah, the legendary Autobahn. Germany's no-speed limit highway paradise. You're cruising at 200 kilometers per hour, music blasting, adrenaline pumping, when suddenly your car sputters and dies. Congrats, you just broke the law. On the Autobahn, it's illegal to stop without reason, including running out of gas. Why? Because stopping on a highway with cars flying by at insane speeds is extremely dangerous. Authorities see it as preventable negligence. If you run out of fuel, you could face fines, and even worse, license penalties. You also can't walk along the Autobahn to get help. So before hitting the road in Germany, make sure your tank is full. The Autobahn is a dream for drivers, but it doesn't forgive mistakes. As the Germans say, Ordnung muss sein. There must be order. And on their highways. That's not just a saying, it's law. 15. Never step on Thai money. Thailand. You're in Bangkok, you drop a coin, and instinctively step on it to stop it from rolling away. Big mistake. In Thailand, stepping on money is considered deeply disrespectful and can even get you into legal trouble. Here's why. Every Thai banknote and coin bears the image of the king. And under Thai law, showing disrespect toward the monarchy, in any form, is a serious offense. So when you put your foot on a coin, it's not just bad manners, it's seen as an insult to the king himself. Tourists have actually been detained for this simple mistake. So remember, if money drops, let it go. Smile awkwardly, pick it up politely, and move on. Thailand is known for its hospitality and respect, and the best way to enjoy it is by showing the same in return. Because in the land of smiles, even a coin deserves a little dignity. 14. Don't wear camouflage. Caribbean and Africa. You might think camouflage shorts make you look cool or adventurous, but in many countries, especially across the Caribbean and parts of Africa, wearing camouflage clothing is illegal. Seriously. In places like Jamaica, Barbados, and Ghana, only the military is allowed to wear it. The idea is to prevent civilians from being mistaken for soldiers or engaging in criminal activity while disguised. Tourists have been stopped at airports, fined, or even forced to change before leaving customs, all because of a camouflage hat or pair of pants. It's one of those laws that surprises people because it feels so harmless. But to local authorities, it's about security and respect for national identity. So if you're heading to the tropics, pack bright colors, not army green. Blend in with the palm trees, not the military. Trust me, nothing ruins a beach vacation faster than being told your shorts are illegal. 13. Don't take selfies with Buddha, Sri Lanka. Picture this, you're at a stunning temple in Sri Lanka. The Buddha statue is massive, golden, breathtaking, and you decide to take a selfie. Then, you're surrounded by guards. Why? Because posing with your back toward Buddha is considered deeply disrespectful. And yes, it's actually illegal. In Sri Lanka, and in many Buddhist-majority countries, turning your back to a Buddha statue for photos is seen as an act of irreverence. Several tourists have even been arrested, fined, or deported for it. The logic is simple. The Buddha isn't a photo prop, it's an object of devotion. So what should you do? If you want a picture, photograph the statue by itself, or stand beside it facing the same direction, not facing away. Respecting local customs like this isn't just about avoiding fines. It's about showing you understand the culture you're visiting. Because travel isn't only about seeing the world, it's about understanding it. 12. No sandcastles allowed, Spain. You're on a sunny Spanish beach, enjoying the waves, and your kids start building a sandcastle. A lifeguard approaches and gives you a fine. Sounds ridiculous? It's true. In certain parts of Spain, especially Malaga and the Canary Islands, building large sandcastles is banned. Local councils argue they block access to lifeguard posts, disturb beachgoers, and can even harm nesting wildlife. There have been real cases of tourists fined hundreds of euros for playing in the sand. It's one of those laws that sounds fake until it happens to you. So if you're in Spain and want to keep busy on the beach, maybe go for a swim or grab a sangria instead. Because here, the real castle you should visit is probably made of stone. 11. No flushing toilets. After 10 p.m., Switzerland. This one sounds like a joke, but it's not entirely. In some Swiss apartment buildings, flushing toilets late at night is strongly discouraged, and in certain cantons, technically forbidden. Noise regulations. Switzerland is famous for its quiet, disciplined culture, and in older buildings, thin walls can make every flush echo like an earthquake. Some landlords include quiet hours in rental contracts, and in rare cases, local ordinances support them. Now, you're not likely to be arrested for flushing your toilet, but you might get a note from your neighbor, or even a visit from building management. The Swiss take peace and order very seriously. It's part of what makes their cities so calm and livable. So if nature calls after 10 p.m., maybe wait until morning, or just flush quietly. Because in Switzerland, even the toilets have rules. 10. Don't kiss in public. UAE. It's sunset in Dubai. You're on a rooftop overlooking the skyline, and in a romantic moment, you kiss your partner. A few minutes later, you're approached by police. Public displays of affection, including kissing and hugging, are strictly prohibited in the United Arab Emirates. This isn't about being unkind or cold. It's about cultural and religious values. The UAE follows Islamic law, which emphasizes modesty and privacy. What might be normal in Paris or New York can be considered offensive in Dubai or Abu Dhabi. Tourists have been fined or even jailed for kissing in public, unaware of how serious the offense is. Even holding hands can draw unwanted attention outside of designated tourist areas. So, if you're visiting, show affection privately, not publicly. Respect the local culture, and you'll find the UAE incredibly welcoming and safe. Because in a country built on tradition and luxury, knowing when to keep things subtle is the real class act. 9. Don't cut the cactus. USA. In Arizona, it's illegal to cut down or damage a cactus, especially the iconic saguaro cactus. These plants can live for over 200 years, and harming one can land you a hefty fine or even jail time. Imagine getting arrested for attacking a cactus. So, next time you're hiking in the desert, maybe stick to selfies instead of souvenirs. 8. No walking backwards while eating a hamburger. Oklahoma, USA. Yes, it's a real thing. In Oklahoma, it's technically illegal to walk backwards while eating a hamburger. The law was allegedly created to prevent choking incidents, though it's likely more of a quirky leftover from old local regulations. Still, if you find yourself in Oklahoma, maybe just sit down and enjoy your burger safely, facing forward. 7. Never pay Canadians in pennies. Canada. Canada has a no coin overload rule under the Currency Act, designed to stop people from paying huge bills in small change. For example, you can only use up to 25 pennies, $5 in nickels or dimes, and $25 in $1 coins. So if you're planning to dump a jar of coins at a store counter, think again. It's not just rude, it's illegal. 6. Don't use your mobile phone inside a bank. Brazil. In Brazil, using your mobile phone inside a bank is against the law. The rule was introduced to reduce crime and protect bank employees, especially during closing hours. Authorities believe that robbers used phones to coordinate heists or stalk staff after work. So, next time you're withdrawing cash in Brazil, maybe check your messages after you step outside. 5. It's illegal to ride a cow while drunk. Scotland. Only in Scotland could this law make perfect sense. According to an old but still valid piece of legislation from 1872, it's illegal to be drunk while in charge of a cow, or for that matter, a horse, carriage, or even a steam engine. Yes, you heard that right. If you've had a few too many whiskeys and think it'd be funny to hop on a cow and take it for a ride through the Highlands, don't. That could earn you a fine, or worse, a criminal charge. The idea behind the law was simple at the time: to prevent drunk behavior that could endanger people, animals, or property. But today, it's mostly become one of those hilarious relics that still technically exist. And just to make things even more Scottish, the same law also forbids you from being drunk while carrying a loaded firearm, which honestly is one of the few rules here that makes absolute sense. So if you ever find yourself wandering through the misty hills of Scotland, whiskey in hand and a friendly cow nearby, remember, don't ride. Because in Scotland, even the cows are protected from your bad drunk ideas. 4. The mask ban law, Denmark. If you're planning a trip to Denmark, here's something you probably didn't expect. It's illegal to cover your face in public. The rule comes from an amendment to the Danish Criminal Code back in 2000, which requires that any person walking in public must be recognizable. In other words, you can't wear anything that hides your identity. No masks, no heavy face paint, and no full face coverings. This means that wearing a mask in public can actually get you fined or even jailed for up to 6 months. And yes, that applies not only to political protests, but even to gatherings, parades, or public events. There are a few exceptions. For example, if you're wearing a medical mask during a pandemic, or covering your face to protect against harsh weather conditions, that's fine. But if you put one on just for fun or fashion, that could land you in serious trouble. This rule became globally known as part of the country's so-called mask ban, which was meant to promote security and transparency. But it's also sparked plenty of controversy and debate. 3. Australia. Don't ring doorbells without a good reason. In South Australia, ringing someone's doorbell for no reason isn't just rude. It's against the law. Yep, pressing that button without a valid purpose can actually cost you a fine of 250 Australian dollars, which is about 130 pounds, or 160 US dollars. The rule comes from local legislation designed to prevent nuisance behavior. Basically, lawmakers wanted to stop pranksters from disturbing people at home, a modern echo of the old ding-dong ditch days. So if you're visiting Australia, and you feel like joking around or testing someone's patience, maybe don't. What might seem like harmless fun back home could earn you a ticket down under. The takeaway? Unless you're delivering mail, visiting a friend, or have a real reason to knock, keep your finger off the doorbell. Australia takes peace and privacy seriously, and your curiosity could end up costing you more than you expect. 2. Only one drink at a time. Hawaii. Here's one that surprises almost everyone. In Hawaii, you can only have one alcoholic drink in front of you at any given time. That's right. No double fisting your cocktails by the pool. And definitely no lining up shots for Instagram. The rule is part of Hawaii's strict liquor laws designed to curb excessive drinking and keep public spaces under control. If a bartender or server sees you with more than one drink, even if it's just sitting there waiting for a friend, they can legally take it away or refuse to serve you more. And yes, police can step in if they think you're breaking liquor regulations. It might sound harsh, but Hawaii takes alcohol consumption seriously, especially in public areas like beaches and hotels. The idea is to promote responsible drinking, and probably to prevent tourists from turning Waikiki into one big hangover. 1. Poland. No Winnie the Pooh t-shirts. In Poland, the lovable bear from your childhood, Winnie the Pooh, is considered too indecent for children because he doesn't wear pants. Yes, you read that right. In some Polish playgrounds and schools, Winnie the Pooh imagery is banned, all because the honey-loving bear was deemed an inappropriate hermaphrodite by certain local officials. The bizarre debate reportedly came to light during a city council meeting, where concerns were raised about Pooh's lack of clothing. The recording of that meeting even leaked to the press, making it one of the strangest censorship stories ever. While most of Poland doesn't actually enforce a national Pooh ban in some regions, the rule still sticks for public spaces meant for children. So if you're planning a family trip and your kid's favorite t-shirt features our pants-free bear, maybe pack something else. Because in Poland, showing off Winnie the Pooh might get you some very confused looks. Or worse, a school official shaking their head at you. So there you have it. 20 of the most bizarre, hilarious, and downright unbelievable travel rules from across the globe. But here's the thing. Every strange rule tells a story, a glimpse into how different cultures think, protect, or just have fun making rules nobody expected. So the next time you travel abroad, remember, what seems normal at home might get you fined, arrested, or just stared at like a total alien somewhere else. Because travel isn't just about seeing the world, it's about understanding it, one weird rule at a time. If you enjoyed this journey through global madness, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more crazy facts from around the world, and let me know in the comments. Which rule surprised you the most? Safe travels!